Hi guys, it's Victor again from the Retired Guys. The other retired guy that you never see is actually filming. That's James. So you're going to be seeing him soon. I'm going to actually surprise you one day when he retires. He'll actually be in front of the camera. Today I'm going to make one in honor of my father's birthday coming up on November 4th. My father, if he was alive today, he would have been 99 years young.
Wow.
So he would have been, yeah, so I miss him every day. So this was one of the favorite dishes that my father made that I absolutely loved. And thank God I remembered the recipe. So this is his recipe. So I'm going to show you what I'm making. I'm making pasta fagioli, which is pasta and beans in English. I ate this in Italy when I used to go travel to Italy. My mother made it all the time. My father made it the best. I'm just going to show you a little bit of what it entails, the ingredients are, so I can show you real quick. So if you pan down here, James, I'm going to show you. You're going to need 2 cans, 15 ounces each of cannellini beans. And the reason why I have 2 cans, I'm going to show you in a second. I got a cup and a half of cannellini pasta, but you can use any small pasta. A cup and a half, maybe a little bit less would be enough for this particular recipe. I have 2 carrots peeled and finely sliced. I have half a cup of pancetta, cut very, very small, and 1 celery, not the whole stalk, but 1 celery stem. Is that what you call it, Jim?
Stem, correct.
Stem, 1 celery stem, chopped up really small. I have 4 cups of chicken broth. If you don't have chicken broth, you can actually substitute it and use water. My father used water. I'm actually going to just alter his recipe by adding the chicken stock, because I had it once in a restaurant, and I asked the gentleman for the ingredients, and he told me the secret to his was he added chicken stock instead of water. So I'm pretty sure you can do either both. Just give it a shot. Make it one time with 4 cups of water, and make it another time with 4 cups of chicken broth, and see which you like better. Also, you need 2 medium-sized onions, which I'm going to actually do one in front of you. So you want that finely chopped. So I chop it that way first, and then I slice it in the center, and then basically
I think you're making the other thing today, not pasta fagioli, pasta, what's the other thing?
And potatoes?
No, something else. I thought, it might have been that.
Maybe, no, but I don't know, I've been craving this, and and my father's birthday's coming up, so I figured this was actually a good reminder of, it just reminds me of him. So when I eat this, a
good time with him.
Yeah, I did. Had a really good time. Well, you did too. I mean, we spent most of, my father had the best time with you when he came to live with us before he passed away. So at least he was happy.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so finely chop. It doesn't have to be perfect, and just want to show you that one of my favorite tools is the scraper. Got this on Amazon for like under $4. I got actually 2 of them. You scoop up your chopped ups, whatever you chop up. The only reason why I like using this, by using your knife, you're actually dulling the knife blade by doing it that way. So this is actually the best tool to use when you're chopping up stuff and you want to lift up off the cutting board. I would get this tool. It does less wear and tear on your knife by using this. So this is the prep. This is all the prep you need right here, except one other thing I forgot to mention. You're going to need, most important, we're going to need garlic. So I'm going to get a couple of cloves of garlic, and I'll do that in front of you now too. I would do about, let's say, I think 3. 3 should be enough. let's get our cutting board back again.
Garlic is very healthy for you. Very healthy
Yeah,
for
it
your
is,
heart.
it is very healthy for you. You know, I cut the edge off first before I pound it. Okay, and you want this cut. You want to mince this. So, best way to actually get rid of the paper on your garlic is just smash it down. And basically you want a fine chop to your garlic.
It lowers your cholesterol.
It does, you know.
Naturally.
And a lot of people don't like garlic, or a lot of people can't have garlic in their food. But in this particular dish, it's a must. You have to have the garlic in. So if you're allergic to garlic or you can't have garlic, unfortunately, it's either you have to have the garlic and, you know, bear with whatever results is going to happen after you eat this beautiful meal, or I think there are pills now you could probably take.
Well, not garlic, more like the what's the one? The lactose.
Yeah, for lactose intolerant.
I don't think there's any garlic pills yet, though.
Yeah. Okay, so 3 cloves of garlic.
Oh, it's pasta fagioli I was thinking about.
Well, that's what I'm making.
Oh, okay.
I'm making pasta fagioli and pasta fagioli. It basically, it's the same thing. So I'm going to put this in a little cup until I need it. Okay. This we can get rid of. I like to, you know me, I like to clean up my counter as I go along. So when we come back, I'm going to start putting this together. I'm going to show you how easy it is. Basically, you don't have to stand around your stove. This is the best recipe I know. Like I said, you can either use the chicken broth or you can use water. I'm doing it today with the chicken broth. Try it both ways. Like I said, see which way you like it better. And you can still make it with the water. So either or, it's your choice. Be back in a sec. Okay, so I got my pot on my burner, and I got it in between high and medium to start. So basically, we're going to start off with a little bit of olive oil. Use
extra virgin, right?
Extra virgin or regular olive oil is fine. You can use either or. So I use regular olive oil for that. And the first thing you're going to throw in, oh, so you know, I forgot to mention, you need 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Now, some people put diced like 2 tablespoons or maybe a half a cup of diced tomatoes, or you can use tomato puree. I use the tomato paste, and the reason I'll tell you why is I tried with the diced tomatoes, and for some reason the tomatoes don't break up as it's cooking. It stays in chunks. I don't like the chunks of tomato. The red color, the tomato is only supposed to be for color. It's not, you're not supposed to really see tomato sauce in there. It's only supposed to be for that redness. And not only that, the tomato paste gives it more of a, once we cook it with the onions and the carrots, we're going to brown it a little, so it gives it sort of like a nutty flavor. And I like the fact that there are no tomato chunks with the tomato paste. So try it with 2 tablespoons of the tomato paste. You'll see a big difference. So I got the oil heating up, and the first thing we're going to add in, I'm using my big spoon today. We're going to add in a little bit of the pancetta. I'm going to lower my heat just a little. Okay, so you want to basically cook this for about, I would say about 2 minutes, because right away we're going to be adding all the other aromatic ingredients. When I say aromatic ingredients, that's the onions, the celery, the carrots, and the tomato paste, and the garlic. So cook this for about, like I said, about 2 minutes. Okay, and then what we're going to do is, actually we can do it now, it's about 2 minutes. So we're going to add the onions. We're going to add our 2 carrots, finely chopped. We're going to add our celery, 1 stalk, finely chopped. We're going to add a half a teaspoon of salt.
Finely chopped?
Finely chopped. And we're going to do our pepper. And we're going to give this a stir. And we're basically going to cook this until the vegetables actually start getting a little bit soft and translucent. That's what you're looking for. Also, what you're going to need is, which I forgot to tell you, but all of this will be in the recipe with the ingredients below in the description. We're going to also need a couple of pepper flakes. All right, that's going to give it a tiny bit of heat. So you're going to need that as well.
Pepperoncino.
Pepperoncino, as Jane says, right? Pepperoncino. So we got that cooking. We're going to cook this for about 10 minutes, or until you notice that it's actually starting to get translucent and starting to brown a little. You don't want it burnt brown, but you want it to brown up a little, and you want it semi-translucent. So you can put it on a little bit of a higher heat. So we come back, we should be ready to add the other ingredients. We're going to let this cook for about 10 minutes. Be back in a sec. Okay, I'm putting the light on because we forgot. There you go. Now you can see me in the light. Beautiful.
Ah!
Oh, Martha. Okay. So the reason why I said we're going to need 2 cans, 15 ounces each of cannellini beans is what we're going to do is we're going to take one of them and we're basically going to put it in the food processor. This is going to give it a real creamy, you want that creamy sauce, and you don't want to use a blend, you don't want to use a handheld blender in the pot because you'll end up crushing all of them. So you're going to put a can, 15 ounce, into a food processor. You're going to add 1 cup of water. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to just basically blend this for about 30 seconds. No lumps. There you go. This is perfect. Perfect, exactly the way it is. If you look, that's exactly what you're looking for. You look. This is going to make it nice and creamy. You're going to have a beautiful sauce with this.
The quickest 30 seconds
Right.
I've ever seen.
Yeah. So now we're going to come back to this. This has been cooking, and those look really translucent. We're going to add the 2 tablespoons of the tomato paste. Right, Jim?
That's right, Vic.
Okay.
All right. Looking good.
Yeah, looking good.
Looking good.
Okay. And basically, you want to just cook that. You want to release the aromatic flavor from the tomato paste.
Acidity.
It's
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. So we're going to cook this. It's going to start turning a little brown, and that's exactly what we're looking for. We want that rustic flavor to come out of the tomatoes. Okay, so we're going to cook this for about 2 minutes. I say 2 minutes, and then I say now.
That's like 30 seconds.
30
like
seconds, a minute. Okay.
You're worse kind of dyslexic.
Yeah, well, not the not a hammer. Okay, so this is okay. So when we come back, we're going to add the other ingredients. But so far, this is looking really, really good. This is our dinner tonight, so this better come out good because I'm starving. So see you in a minute. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes, and I'm going to add the minced garlic. So you want to add that in there. Give that a stir. Okay, get rid of that. And you want to add
Pepperoncino.
basically a teaspoon. So I'm eyeballing it as a teaspoon is. I'm just going to lower the flame. And you're going to cook this for about 2 minutes.
That smells good.
Yeah, it smells delicious. We're going to cook this for about 2 minutes. And don't worry about if you see it getting dark on the bottom. Once you add the liquid, that's going to deglaze the pan, and that's going to give it all the flavor. So
What a goodness.
all that goodness is going to be there. So in about 2 minutes, we'll come back. We'll come back and we'll add the liquid, and we'll show you what the next step is. Okay, so we're back, and 2 minutes has passed. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to add our 4 cups of
Chicken broth.
Again, if you don't want to use chicken broth, you can use water. But today I'm going to make it with chicken broth. So it has to be 4 cups of liquid. So it's either chicken broth or water. You can decide. Okay, you can give this a stir. Remember, this is going to deglaze the bottom of the pan. Okay, the next thing we're going to add is we're going to add the 15 ounce, the other can.
Don't eat it.
What?
You ate that first.
Yeah, but no, we're going to add the both at the same time anyway. So I have this in my hand already. Stop being compliant.
No, I thought it said eat that first, then 10
It
minutes.
doesn't really, man. I can add
All
either
right.
one. What are you talking? You're making me nervous.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay, you know what? To make him, it doesn't matter. We're going to add 1 can, 15 ounces of the one that's not been cut up. Okay, and then we're going to take
The other 15 ounces.
the other 15 ounces, the puree, and we're going to actually add that into our sauce. Okay, and clean off the counter a little. So basically, you're going to give this a stir. My God, it smells so good already. Okay, you're going to bring this up to a boil. So I put it on medium to high. Just stir it around a little. And we're going to cook that for about 10 minutes. After it's been cooking for about 10 minutes and it's up to a boil, then we're going to add our 1.5 cups of the dentellini pasta. You can use any small pasta you want. You can even use the small little mixed bag of pastas. But for authentic pasta fagioli, it's the dentellini, the small little pastas. You can use the bigger dentellini. They make these in a bigger size. You can use that. I wouldn't use spaghetti unless you're going to break it up in really small pieces. But any type of small pasta that you like, you can use for this dish. But for the authentic pasta fagioli, pasta fazool, you want to use dentellini.
Yeah.
And there are actually 2 sizes. This is a small size, and there is a bigger size. I like using the small size because it's actually going to double up in volume anyway. So in about 10 minutes, we're going to come back, and we're going to put the pasta in, and I'll tell you how long to cook that for. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes, and this has been cooking, and look how nice and thick that's actually coming out. I mean, it looks really, really delicious. So now's the time to add your 1.5 cups of pasta right into the pot. Okay, some people actually cook their pasta on the side. I think that is a mistake because the pasta doesn't have any chance of soaking up this beautiful sauce from that we've been cooking. You cook the pasta on the side and you add it to it when it's al dente and you're ready to serve. The pasta really just tastes like pasta. This way you let it cook inside the sauce until it's al dente. The pasta will taste exactly like the sauce. So I tasted this already. This came out it's coming out absolutely delicious. When the pasta is al dente, you're going to take it off the heat, and there's one last thing. Actually 2 last things you're going to put into it. You're going to put in chopped up fresh basil. And the reason why you leave the basil for last is because you want the basil to keep its potentness and its color. So you throw that in last at the very end when the heat is off, and you're going to put a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese inside, and that's going to also help thicken it up. I'm going to be adding Parmesan cheese to my plate separately. Jimmy doesn't like Parmesan cheese, but this recipe calls for it in the sauce, so I'm putting it in. But he won't really notice it as much, right, James?
I can tolerate it.
I can tolerate it. Okay. And then once you plate it, I'm going to put Parmesan cheese on mine. He's going to leave his the way it is, but you must drizzle extra virgin olive oil on top.
Not a lot.
Not a lot, but that's a must. You got to do that. So when we're ready to serve this up, we'll come back in a little while and we'll show you how we plate it up.
Is your bread ready, Dave? Because I know you cooked
Yeah,
bread.
well, I did. I sliced up the bread that I made today in the oven while Jimmy was at work.
You said it with a straight face. Are you kidding?
I can't say that with a straight. I did not cook this bread. I didn't cook the bread. I mean, I have time to cook bread, but bread is another video. It's another chapter in my life when I start getting into breads. But yeah, I buy my bread at an Italian bakery. I thought I was going to get away with it and say that I bake it, but James gave me away. But yeah, I got my nice Italian bread. We got my Parmesan cheese waiting for the pasta to get al dente. Then we're going to add that in when the flame is off. Shut the flame off, add your basil, add your Parmesan cheese, serve it up, drizzle olive oil, and you're ready to go. And we'll show you that when it's ready. Okay, so light again. Okay, here we go. So this has been cooking. The pasta is al dente, and you see how nice and rich the sauce got. So we're going to take this off the heat. I got it all.
It wasn't hot?
I got no. It's not hot. This is Cuisinart. The handle on these don't really get hot.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so look how nice and thick and rich that looks. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add our half a cup of Parmesan cheese.
Pepperoncino.
No, this is regular Parmesan. I didn't
is it?
use Pecorino Romano today. This requires Parmesan. So the Parmesan cheese is going to give it a little bit of a thickness. But this is already so nice and thick. And what a great soup this is. Look at that.
It's more like a stew.
Yeah, and you know what? Today is a really cold day. I'm just going to put this back on there so I can move this over here. Okay. So this is done. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually serve it up. That's James. See? Little James. That's me. Okay. And
I'm not that big, people, so you know.
I'm going to get a spatula. Okay. So we're going to dish it out.
That smells so good.
So that's James. You can smell the earthiness of the pancetta, the
celery, the carrots.
And if you notice, see, no chunks. There are no, I'm putting this back on the heat, back in here. If you notice, there are no tomato chunks. You really don't want tomato chunks unless you're making it a different way that you're used to making it, but you shouldn't have any tomato chunks. You want a little bit of that redness in it, and that's what the tomato paste did. It gives it an earthiness, but yet it gives it a tiny bit of that reddish color without actually seeing any chunks of tomato. You do not, this is not a tomato sauce. This is more of a bean stew kind of meal.
Yes.
You're not making a tomato sauce. So the next thing is, for me, not for James.
Not for me.
I got fresh Parmesan cheese, and I am going to just grate some fresh Parmesan cheese on mine. You sure you don't want any?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, some fresh Parmesan cheese on mine, and we're going to drizzle.
Not
which
that
is
much,
a must.
though.
This is Jimmy's. He said not that much on his,
That's good.
so that's good for him. I am going to put. You must add the olive oil on the plate. That is a must for authentic pasta basil. So this is my father's recipe. I kind of tweaked it a little. I used the chicken broth instead of water. I have made it with water. So I wanted to try it with the chicken broth and give it a shot. You can add diced tomatoes if you want. That's totally up to you. If you want to see chunks of tomato, I don't. This is more of a bean sauce. It's not a tomato sauce, so I don't want to see tomatoes in it. You can use any type of small pasta, but authentically you should use dentellini. That's the best pasta to use for this. Dentellini comes in two sizes, really small and maybe about that big, but those really get kind of big, so I use the really small ones. So we're going to sit down and actually eat now. So if you like this recipe, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Share this video to somebody if you think they would like. If they make pasta basil, maybe you can show them my recipe. Maybe I make it a little bit different than they do, so you can show it to them. And yeah, subscribe to my channel. And like I say at the end of all my videos, take care of one another. Peace out.